I told my son to punch my nephew after his parents refused to discipline him. My 9-year-old Jake is huge for his age, like he's the size of most 12-year-olds. We've always taught him to be gentle with smaller kids because he could accidentally hurt someone without meaning to, but my brother's son Tyler is 7 and has been hitting Jake constantly for months. Every family gathering, Tyler would punch, kick, and smack Jake while his parents just sat there doing nothing. The worst part? My brother and his wife actually thought it was funny that their little son was beating up his bigger cousin. They'd laugh and say stuff like, "Look at Tyler taking on the big guy," or "Tyler's got some fight in him." Meanwhile, Jake would come to me upset because he knew he wasn't supposed to hit back, but Tyler kept hurting him. I talked to my brother multiple times about Tyler's behavior, but he'd just shrug and say boys will be boys. His wife would actually encourage it, telling Tyler he was so tough for not being scared of his bigger cousin. So before Thanksgiving dinner this year, I sat Jake down and gave him a new rule. I told him if Tyler started hitting him, he had to come tell the adults twice. After that, he was allowed to punch Tyler in the stomach once to defend himself. Jake seemed relieved that he finally had permission to protect himself, and I figured Tyler's parents would step in once they got warned, so it wouldn't even come to that. Thanksgiving arrives and Tyler's family shows up around noon. Within an hour, Jake comes downstairs and says, "Tyler's hitting me." I look at my brother and his wife and say, "Okay, thanks for letting us know." They just sit there on the couch, don't even look up from their phones. My brother actually smirks like he's proud of his kid. About 30 minutes later, Jake comes down again. "Tyler hit me again," he says. Same response from me, same complete indifference from Tyler's parents. 20 minutes after that, we hear this loud crying from upstairs. Tyler's mom jumps up like someone set her on fire and runs upstairs to check on her. Poor baby. She comes back down carrying Tyler, who's sobbing and saying Jake punched him in the stomach. She's going off about how my son is a bully and how could I let this happen. I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "Jake told you twice that Tyler was hitting him, and you didn't care. Why do you suddenly care about hitting now?" My brother tries to defend his wife by saying Jake is bigger, so he shouldn't hit Tyler, and that Tyler's small hits weren't really hurting anyone. I told him that wasn't the point. The point was, they had 2 chances to parent their kid and chose not to, so Jake handled it himself exactly like I told him to. My mom got involved and said I was wrong for telling Jake it was okay to hit his cousin, but I reminded everyone that Tyler had been the one doing the hitting all day, and Jake only defended himself after following the rules perfectly. Tyler's parents packed up and left early, saying we were all ganging up on their son. Tyler hasn't hit Jake once since then.